And Jimmy Vesey on the puck here, winds it around from Michael McLeod. Those two start out with Yegor Sharangovich, who's back after being a healthy scratch for the last 2 games. Dougie Hamilton checked off the puck. David Pastrnak with a centering try, picked off by Alexander Holtz. Here's Matt Grzelcyk shooting, stopped by Bernier with traffic at the doorstep. He's got it. Lindy Ruff says the small parts of our game have gotten better, and that's led to some big things. The Devils have won consecutive games by 4 or more goals for the first time since February of 2009. That includes the 7-3 victory versus Florida, followed up by the 4-0 blitzing of the Islanders here in an excellent hockey game 2 nights ago. Charlie Coyle on the draw against McLeod, and this is pushed out of the zone by Nico Hischier. Tries to pick up Pavel Zacha, but the pass is picked off.
Okay, I want to point out Dougie Hamilton there where he took a big hit from Pastrnak. You need communication. I don't know if he was communicated to, and I'm not sure which Devil it was off the top of my head, but the reverse was there. The quick reverse off the end boards. You want to do that against a Bruins team, especially that top line that you know are going to be on you quickly. And it's about communication and making sure sometimes you forget to speak. You've got to talk to your teammate.
Siegenthaler, Subban are the defensemen on here for the Devils as Hischier buys some time and the Devils change. Here's PK Subban on the puck. Devils and Bruins met 8 times last year, and the Devils fared quite well against an excellent Bruins team. They won 5 of the 8 meetings. Anton Blid, the Swedish-born forward, banks this into the Devils zone. Ty Smith lost control of the puck, battling in the corner here with Curtis Lazar. Devils come away with it, and the outlet pass by Jesper Bratt is picked off. Jakub Zboril with a big hit on Dawson Mercer. Bruins try to cut in front, and there's Bernier under pressure. Puck drops back, and it's wristed wide by Charlie McAvoy. Derek Forbort on as well. They comprise the Bruins' top defense tandem. McAvoy signing the lucrative 8-year, $76 million contract last month. On the puck here is the Bruins defenseman wearing 73, and he's iced the puck.
And I kind of expected the Bruins to come out hard this afternoon to start this game. They were not happy with their play. A lot of turnovers, shall I say, against the Edmonton Oilers, especially in the 3rd period in their loss. So the Devils have to be sharp. They have to take passes, execute wisely in their own zone, because the Bruins have come out strong here to start this hockey game this afternoon.
Bruce Cassidy's team lost 5-3 against the Edmonton Oilers 2 nights ago. Dougie Hamilton with a soft shot that's held by the goaltender Swayman.
That's the Devils' first shot on goal. Swayman handles it easily. But you want to get pucks on net, force a face-off in the Bruins zone there.
Hamilton coming off a 2-point night against the Islanders in the victory on Thursday. Jesper Boqvist on the draw here. He's flanked by Janne Kuokkanen, one of the goal scorers 2 nights ago, and Tomas Tatar, who also found the back of the net. Boqvist will track this puck in the neutral zone, played across, and here's Hamilton. Batted out of midair off the stick of Tatar, and the Devils will chase. Boston on the puck. Matt Grzelcyk to play this across, and it's settled by Brandon Carlo. Opening minutes. Glad you've joined us for the Saturday afternoon game here at The Rock. Off the stick of Erik Haula, who's chasing, and Ryan Graves under pressure.
There's the reverse I'm talking about. Graves was under pressure, but he feels the Bruin forechecker on his back, reverses it to Hamilton. Plenty of time to get the puck out of the zone.
Devils change. Forbort carries over the line. Dumps in further. Siegenthaler checked deep in the zone by Nick Foligno. One of the big acquisitions for this Bruins team. Devils play this ahead. Here's McLeod with the drop. Vesey drive blocked away. Nice setup by Michael McLeod. Along the near wall, Sharangovich tries to jar a loose puck further in. The Bruins break back the other way. Taylor Hall, second line left wing. Opting to remain a Boston Bruin, signed a 4-year deal in July. The only player in Devils history to be celebrated as a Hart Trophy recipient. Brandon Carlo on the puck for Boston. Able to bank this ahead. Carson Kuhlman, one of the changes to the Bruins lineup from that game on Thursday. Bruins can't get it out. The pick by Pavel Zacha, centering try. Had Holtz in the slot, it got by him.
Well, great job by the Devils turning the puck over, or having the Bruins turn the puck over just inside their blue line. And it's the top line of Bergeron, Pastrnak, and Marchand, but they got back quickly, and that pass not completed to Holtz.
So many years it was Travis Zajac in that role as the center who drew the big defensive assignment against lines like the Bergeron line. Got the feeling from Lindy Ruff today. Going to see a lot of McLeod, a lot of Hischier in that role today.
And he's really developing a role, Michael McLeod, as he wins big draws. He's that guy that's smart. He's got speed. He can shut down top guys, or at least limit them for sure. And as he continues to grow his game, McLeod's going to be that guy. It looks like that fills those shoes over the years of Travis Zajac.
Dawson Mercer trying to hold the zone. He could not. Tomas Nosek back the other way, and a shot off the stick of Bleed, blocked away by the goaltender Bernier, who alertly covers in front.
A little saying hello in front of the Devils net as these two teams compete this afternoon and get into this hockey game. Just 5 minutes and change old. There's Tomas Tatar, 12 games, a goal, 4 assists. Cans, we've talked about it. Erica talked about it, and Bryce in the pregame. He got his first goal on a deflection in front, and you'll take him any way you can as the puck was going wide on the shot from Hamilton. But he was moving his feet last game. You could tell he was feeling it. Had a breakaway, had a chance in tight. Made a great move on the breakaway. I thought goaltender Sorokin just made a better save. But Tatar's going to be a big part of this Devils team. The veteran guy that we know can put the puck in the net. It's going to start to come, I think, after that first goal as a Devil in this season, last game.
He plays the game and does all interviews with a smile on his face. Weight off his shoulders, though, clearly, as Kuokkanen's shot is held by Jeremy Swayman. That goal by Tatar snapping a 23-game goal drought going back to last year. As we get a look at Taylor Hall. Now, the Bruins made this 4-year commitment to the one-time Devils MVP. His start to this season, though, has been somewhat inconsistent. He was even benched in the third period of Tuesday's game versus Ottawa, playing a season-low 11-26. For so long, the Bruins were searching for that elite winger to play alongside second-line center David Krejci. Now they may have one in Hall, and Krejci is no longer here after 15 years.
I talked to some of the Bruins people before this game.
Shot by Zacha, fought off by Swayman.
And they had said they need more from Taylor Hall, more consistency for sure, to supplement their top line, one of the best in the National Hockey League.
Lazar to play this back. The Bruins with a pass that's picked off by Zacha. Read well. Here comes Zacha walking in. Saved by Swayman.
What a save. Great read by Pavel Zacha to intercept that pass, chip it past the defenseman, and go in all alone on Swayman. Boy, that would have been a big one right there. That's a big save. It was a quick release by Zacha. Tried to shoot it low and beat him under the pad, but Swayman makes a big stop.
Pavel Zacha tied for the team goal scoring lead with 6 on the season, along with Andreas Janssen. Devils able to gain the zone. Sharon Govich shooting away, and that's held by Swayman. 6.5 gone by at the Rock. We're scoreless.
Dude, great read by Zacha. Picks off that pass, shields the puck from Grzelcyk, goes in all alone on Swayman, tries to quickly shoot that puck low on the ice, 5-hole, but Swayman reads it well, makes a big stop there. Good release by Zacha. We thought maybe he could slide that one under the pad through the 5-hole. Swayman got the big paddle down and shut the door there.
Marchand off the draw, carries ahead here. All 3 members of the Bruins top line already in double-digit points to start the season. This is only game number 12 for Boston on the season.
Well, we've got a penalty coming up here against the Devils. Looks like Boqvist got a stick
Jersey
up
penalty
high
number
on
70,
Pastrnak.
2 minutes for high sticking.
Yeah, that's the call, Kanj. I didn't see it. It was away from the play. Saw Pastrnak go to the bench. Unfortunately for the Devils, it's only 2 minutes. And it didn't look like there was any blood drawn. We'll watch right here. Well, you see, he kind of collides with Pastrnak, and again, they call it. I mean, he was just falling backwards. The stick kind of followed through the Pastrnak and caught him up high.
Off the draw, Devils try to get on the loose puck. Michael McLeod does and clears it away. Devils penalty kill has been good lately. 2 for 2 against the Islanders. 4 for 4 over the last 2 games as Marchand carries ahead. Plays a pass across. Bergeron for Marchand. Couldn't control, and the Devils clear.
Well, that's a connection they've made for a long time. That quick pass, Marchand in the high slot and the quick release, but fortunately for New Jersey, he was unable to corral that crisp pass.
Bruins try to control the puck again. They cannot. McAvoy to work this by Nico Hischier. The Bruins power play comes into this afternoon's game, ranked 7th in the NHL. Another good read by Severson. He clears.
Standing up just inside the Devils' blue line. The Bruins want to get set up early. They move the puck quickly. Marchand usually stays up high, can't if that pass connects, and then he's so poised and patient with it. But Severson right up in his face, one step. And now it looks like we're going to be evened up here.
Penalty against the Bruins with 1:10 remaining on the penalty to Boqvist. And the goaltender, Swayman, wound up playing the puck outside the trapezoid. Here we are.
Oh, you see right there, just a little touch of the puck. You don't see that called too often, guys. Or Cans, the goaltenders are usually very aware, and he had a little lapse there. I didn't realize that's a no-no, so the Devils will take it. Little 4-on-4 hockey for 1:10, and then the Devils will have 50 seconds of power play time.
So at 4-on-4, Swayman, the call is technically delay of game at 7:27. Referees in charge today, Furman South and Kelly Sutherland. Libor Sukanek, Jonathan Deschamps are the linesmen here at the Rock today. Devils and Bruins meet 3 times this season. This is the only time they'll play each other at Prudential Center. And the Devils with a face-off win. We're at even strength. To the circle, Jesper Bratt. Floats to the top, crosses up with Ryan Graves. Bratt pulls back on Brandon Carlo. Bratt still maneuvering, then lost control and carried ahead here by the Bruins. Grzelcyk over the Devils line. Carson Kuhlman is the player serving the penalty. Here's Grzelcyk firing and off the glove of Jonathan Bernier.
All kinds of time, and Grzelcyk got all of it. Big save as Bernier fights it off with his glove hand, goes over the net and behind the Devils' net.
Power play begins 30 seconds from now. Mercer in the 4-on-4. Weaves his way into the Bruins zone, winds it perfectly to the stick of Ty Smith. His shot blocked away in front. Charlie McAvoy there. Haula under pressure, taken away by Hischier, played across neatly by Subban. Nico Hischier holds, gives here to Smith. Nice touch pass, gives here to Subban. Fakes the shot, plays it across. Tangled up was Hischier with McAvoy, and now the Devils' power play begins. It is brought to you by RWJ Barnabas Health.
I think it's an icing call here. Maybe not, Cam.
Well, they might have to correct this, Dano, and have the face-off at center ice. Let's see how they call it. I saw the linesman's hand go up as well.
There's Grzelcyk open on the left side. The blast. Look at Bernier come out to the top of the crease, fight it off. Just got a piece of that blast with his gloved hand. So Bernier sharp early on here.
5 shots for the Bruins, 6 for the Devils to this point.
Well, looks like the face-off is in the Bruin zone. A little confusion here.
It was close to the player exiting the penalty box. So here we are. Devils power play has 41 seconds to go on it with Kuhlman serving the call against the goaltender Swayman. Bruins win the face-off and cleared by Carlo. Here's Dougie Hamilton for the Devils. 9 minutes gone by in the opening period. Mercer on the power play. Zacha let the puck go across in Hischier's direction. Now the fight for the puck. Devils come away with it. Into the slot. Picked off by the defenseman Forbert, who plays it ahead. Now Marchand shorthanded, has Bergeron with him and broken up by Hamilton.
Played beautifully, patiently by Dougie Hamilton. Those two don't miss often on a 2-on-1 Kanjan. You saw Hamilton hold his ground, doesn't cheat toward Marchand, where he's one of the best fake shot passers in the game and usually feeds Bergeron for that empty net there, or vice versa. But Hamilton stayed home and deflected that pass away.
Battle along the near wall, trying to hold the zone. Hamilton under pressure from Bleed. And the Devils send in. We're back to even strength.
Well, not much doing in the 50 seconds of power play time there for the Devils.
Bleed lost his footing at the blue line and played here by PK Subban. Off the stick of Boqvist. Chasing is Tatar. Zboril back. Another penalty coming up. That's Tatar, who got knocked into the end wall.
And that's New Jersey's own Connor Clifton going to get an interference call.
At this game, defensively, analytically, you are looking at teams that are ranked #1 and #9 in terms of allowing the fewest slot passes against. And on top of that, you're looking at the 5th and 8th ranked team in terms of the fewest slot shots against, guys. And hey, you're going to have to pay the price if you want to get a rebound chance this afternoon. Both teams here are allowing the fewest, that being Boston, and the 3rd fewest being the Devils. And this is a great opportunity for the Devils on the power play to capitalize. Back to you guys.
First power play, Bryce, was an abbreviated one, and the Devils did not have a shot on goal. This power play brought to you by RWJ Barnabas Health. Zacha picks up Mercer, and the drop here for Alexander Holtz. Plays it across, that deflects off Nosek. Devils on the puck. Hops over the stick of Holtz and out of the zone.
He was open, would have had a good opportunity to let that big shot go, or that Holtz has, but just popped over his stick, like you said, on the crisp pass from Zacha there, Ken.
Holtz has his first National Hockey League point. He's seeking his first goal this afternoon. Hamilton on the puck. In deep, Carlo looks to bank it out of the zone. Under pressure. Initially held in by Hischier, but here's a chance. Short-handed save on Lazar by Bernier.
Great play by the Bruins, short-handed.
Zboril shooting. Another save, Bernier.
2 good opportunities for Boston, short-handed, so you've got to make sure you are razor sharp as far as where that puck goes and tape-to-tape passes. Again, I mentioned that before, Ken, for the Bruins. Anticipate well. What a stop on the breakaway from Lazar by Jonathan Bernier. He's been really good this afternoon.
Jesper Bratt on the entry. Devils work it back. Ty Smith along with Severson. Smith floats to the top. Here's Severson. Fakes the shot. Gives back to Ty. His wrister blocked in front. Marchand will clear.
And there's some of that slot shot Bryce is talking about, where it's so difficult. I know that was Ty Smith up high, but the Bruins really take the middle of the ice away. That puck does not get to the net.
Last rush of the power play, probably for the Devils. Tatar for Severson. The return pass. Tatar tracks it on the near wall. Smith under pressure. Well played. Devils working across. Tatar back for Smith. His shot wristed wide. Beautifully constructed, and the Bruins get it away.
Best opportunity for the Devils on this power play. Bruins had a couple of short-handed chances. And again, you've got to make sure those passes, and you've got somebody back, they've got to be on the tape, because the Bruins go the other way quickly. You saw that on the breakaway from Lazar, and a nice pass from the Bruins' own zone short-handed.
So the penalty killers on both sides go to work early successfully. Icing is the call here with 7.5 to go.
You see just a high flip. The Devils have trouble handling it at the blue line. That's why you need guys to support each other and cut back to the middle, but the Devils were spread apart. Lazar was able to go in all alone. There's Bernier staying with him all the way.
Off the draw, McLeod for Vesey. Trapped in the zone, Michael McLeod. He'll have to tag. The Bruins on the puck anyway. And Hall's pass disrupted. Sent in by Sharon Govich. No goals in his first 10 games this season. A healthy scratch for games 11 and 12. Siegenthaler deep into the zone. There's McLeod. Stood up well to McAvoy and able to play the puck back. PK Subban with a wrister. Redirected. Loose in front. Sharangovich had a swipe on it. It wouldn't go. Now McLeod able to free up the puck once again. Along the near wall, Kuokkanen for McLeod. Good pressure by the Devils. Siegenthaler once again towards the corner. And the Bruins get this to center. Boqvist to play this back. PK Subban. 7 shots for each team. We're scoreless at the Rock.
Pretty good collision that you mentioned between McAvoy and McLeod. McLeod won that battle, and that's a real sturdy Charlie McAvoy.
206 of muscle and a shot off the stick of Pastrnak, whistled wide. Taken back by the Devils in transition. Kuokkanen. Devils did well to stay onside, but the puck played here by Grzelcyk, the Charlestown, Massachusetts native, playing for his hometown team. Marchand at center. Batted out of midair by Graves. Hamilton keeps the puck moving. Now Andreas Johnsson, the outlet pass picked up here in the neutral zone by Bratt. Hop, skip, and a jump. Bodies collide, Mercer and Bratt, as it comes back the other way.
Bodies flying everywhere, and Bratt hop past Zboril, and Zboril took a little bit of a shot to the head there as Bratt jumped past him.
Here's Clifton into the glove of Bernier, who holds on. The Devils and Bruins are scoreless opening period.
They're having so much fun playing for one another, and that energy is definitely contagious. Something Bryce Salvador and I were talking about during the pregame show. Look at a guy like Tomas Tatar, and especially a rookie in Dawson Mercer. When we talked with Dougie Hamilton the other night post-game, he said that was the first thing he noticed about this kid back prior to training camp when they were just here in Jersey skating, saying the tenacity he brings every single time he's on the ice, and we're excited that he's starting to get the recognition from outside of Devils country, guys.
Erica, thank you. 4 goals in his first 12 games, Dawson Mercer. This is played back from McAvoy, and his shot blocked away by the Devils, gloved down by Pastrnak, but taken the other way by Holtz. In transition, Holtz picks up Saka, shooting save Swayman.
Swayman was real quick there to react. Zaki didn't know if he was going to pass it in the backhand to Hischier or let it go. He lets it go, and Swayman stayed with him all the way.
Bouncing puck in the Devils zone, and they'll force this back the other way.
It was a nice quick pass from Holtz from the right side as they entered the Bruins zone.
Erica on the subject of Dawson Mercer. I know we're not supposed to do this, but there are no rules here. He's on pace for 27 goals this year as a rookie. This to flex over the glass.
Special early on here for sure. And Pastrnak has trouble handling that pass. Here's Holtz in transition, gets to Zacha. Look at Swayman with the quick right pad there as he kicks the shot out from Pavel Zacha. Nico Hischier just out of his reach, looking for that rebound.
On the draw, played back by Foligno. Here's Zboril, the Bruins defenseman. 4:20 to go in this opening period of play. Dougie Hamilton able to glove that ahead, but not out of the zone. Zboril blocked away high by McLeod. Foligno, one-time Blue Jackets captain. It's only his second game back from injury from Boston. After missing 8, played across. Zboril with a shot off a body in front. Foligno was there. Devils under some serious pressure as Zboril plays it back. Coyle with the dish, and a drive pad save made by Bernier. Coyle holds the zone momentarily, but this is Hamilton to play it across.
Good pressure by the Bruins. Devils did a good job taking the middle away, though, keeping shots to the outside. Bernier makes a save, and finally they're able to get it out.
Johnsson bumps with Nosek, and the puck gathered here by Siegenthaler. Nice start for the Devils defenseman, wearing 71 in his first full year with the team. There's a glove save made by Swayman. Mercer got knocked down in the slot. Trying to chip that out of the zone, Connor Clifton, and now Zboril with a pass taken away by the Devils. Fill the passing lane nicely as Bratt dumps in. And carried ahead by the Bruins again. Clifton towards the Devils' goal. Fielded nicely by PK Subban. Long pass to center, and Kuokkanen will dump in. Boqvist sees the puck wind past Tatar. Severson gets over quickly for the hold. Forbort. Kuokkanen. Scramble for the puck on the far wall. Devils come away with it. Carson Kuhlman will play this out to center. And now Smith with a pass picked off by Kuhlman. Kuhlman with the dish and a shot by Bleed. Save made. They score on a rebound. The Bruins take a 1-0 lead. Erik Haula after a terrific stop by Jonathan Bernier.
Well, you have to make sure you're making quick decisions in this game, both teams, because it's been opportunities at both ends, but both have taken the middle away, and this time it's a rebound right to Haula. No chance for Bernier. Makes the initial save, and you see Haula, that puck comes right to him, right-handed or left-handed shooter on the right side, so he's opened up. Devils turn it over the neutral zone. It hasn't happened much. They've been pretty good on their puck management, but the Bruins quickly transition, giving them that outnumbered situation. The first shot stopped, not the second one. Bruins take a 1-0 lead. Erik Haula on the rebound.
That's his first goal as a Bruin. Signed as a free agent back in July. One of 5 additions to the Bruins roster. We're a team that made the playoffs, exited in the second round for a second straight season. Now Carlo to bank this ahead. Brandon Carlo guided off his stick by Hischier. And Grzelcyk for Boston. Puck taken here in the neutral zone by the Devils. Zacha played it only as far as Grzelcyk. Bernier at the side of goal sees a white jersey there. He'll cover and stop play. Time for the trivia question brought to you by Cadillac. Tweet your answer to #Cadillac Trivia. Patrice Bergeron, 4th all-time in Bruins history with 928 points. Who are the top 3? Fairly certain I've got this.
Well, some of the old-time greats, I'm assuming, on the Boston Bruins back in the 70s, I would believe, Ken. So I'm going to put on my thinking cap for that Cadillac trivia question.
I think you're onto something. McAvoy's shot is held by Bernier, who's faced 14 shots already in this opening period.
Well, the Bruins have come out. They've played hard. They've fired away from everywhere. Devils have had a few chances of their own. Pavel Zacha's had a couple of them, one on a breakaway. But the Bruins strike first here. Minute 38 left in the first period. Shots 14-9 Boston.
Bleed and Kuhlman get the assists on the Erik Haula goal. Off the draw, Siegenthaler out to center. Here's Charlie McAvoy. The return pass from Charlie Coyle. Boston coming into this game with a record of 6-5. And carried ahead here by Vesey, who dumps in. Off the glove of Forbort, and play is halted. Offside is the call. So the Bruins lead, and to this point, Dana, with 1:13 left in the period, no shots yet from Marchand, Pastrnak, or Bergeron.
Oh, they've needed some secondary offensive threats, Kanjan, more shots, and they've fired a lot of pucks, but they've been on the puck quickly. I think the Devils are skating pretty well, but they need to get some of those bodies in front of the net, in front of Swayman. He looked sharp early on, and get those second and third opportunities or rebound type of chances when the goaltender's down.
Icing is the call. Just over a minute to go.
Well, we've talked about the impact Dougie Hamilton has had on this team right from the get-go. Second multiple point game of the season against the Islanders, a goal and a helper, and he's pretty well on a point-a-game pace. Can's one under that, but missed 3 games as well due to injury, so he's got 8 points in 9 games. 3 goals and 5 helpers, but he's been good in his own zone as well with that long reach, and that's equally as important.
Playing against the team that drafted him this afternoon, the Bruins made him the 9th overall pick in the 2011 draft. Here's Swayman for Grzelcyk. Subban tied up with Jake DeBrusk along the near wall, trying to hold the zone. Players bunch up along the near board. Nosek digging for it. Puck still loose. And fighting this puck to center is DeBrusk. Knocked down by PK Subban. Devils work the puck free. It's carried ahead here by Siegenthaler. Final half minute of the period. The dish for Bratt. Jesper Bratt over the line. Devils offside once again. One of the big factors in the win over the Islanders on Thursday was Lindy Ruff's ability to roll all 4 lines. Jimmy Vesey had more ice time than any Devils forward in that victory. Terrific story, as we referenced at the top, and I think we'll see a lot of that. We had a game earlier this year where McLeod had the most ice time of Devils forwards. It's a number that's not going to be dominated necessarily by the top 6, at least not now.
For the most part, the ice time was distributed relatively evenly, but no coincidence, those 3 guys, very responsible players, two-way players, got the most ice time.
Here's Kuokkanen, last chance for the Devils, and at a swipe or 2 at it, the period will come to an end. The Bruins on the Erik Haula goal take the early lead here at Prudential Center. Erica Wachter, Bryce Salvador have the New Jersey Lottery First Intermission Report coming your way in a moment on Kids Day at the Rock. Kathy was a key part of our organization for more than 20 years. She was known and respected for her work ethic as well as her kindness and her friendship. Our thoughts and prayers are with her longtime partner, Michael Dennis, and the rest of her family and friends. As we transition back to a hockey game, a 1-goal game as the second period is set to begin. Kids Day here at the Rock. This is always one of the fun events on the calendar, and fans of all ages watching a Bruins team cash in on the rebound goal by Erik Haula. It's Pavel Zacha who had 3 shots in the opening 20 minutes to lead all players, and 2 of them from high danger areas. The Devils certainly had their chances on Swayman.
They did, and Bruins came out strong. We expected that, Kenj, after losing to the Oilers at home. Devils were skating well, but it's all about puck management against this Bruins team, and Bryce pointed out a lot of the things that they're near the top of the league at as far as analytically, and that's the middle of the ice. You saw Ty Smith try to make that quick pass up the middle, and they had a guy right in the lane in the neutral zone. That was turned into an outnumbered situation, and the rebound goal there for Erik Haula.
The Bruins on the puck. They send it towards the Devils' end of the ice. Here's David Pastrnak. He's the only member of that perfection line to even have a shot attempt in the opening period. He had 2 of them that missed the net. Vesey off the stick of Sharangovich. He'll continue on. Derek Forbert, the defenseman, back to deal with him. Along the near wall, Michael McLeod. Sharangovich, and the puck comes out to center, where Siegenthaler will slap it back in. Shots in the game, 14-9 for Boston. Charlie McAvoy gets this out to the neutral zone. Holtz, Hischier, Zacha. Top line for the Devils is on here in their efforts to get the game tied. And Foligno sends in. Blocked away by the Devils, and in the midst of a change, the Bruins able to deal with that. Taylor Hall to lift this puck in. Siegenthaler under pressure from Foligno. Such a popular player with the Blue Jackets. This puck blocked in front. Hall turning and shooting as it deflects over the glass.
A good stick there by Siegenthaler to deflect that Hall shot up and over the glass. And there's Brandon Carlo, the big defenseman. 337 games already, Ken. He's been around for a time now with the Bruins. You see his points career-wise, and they rely on him heavily on the back end. He probably had his toughest game, or toughest period, certainly in the third against the Oilers, where he turned the puck over a few times. Does it too often. He's just a big, strong defenseman that is a guy they rely on heavily, and especially with Zdeno Chara moving on, Carlo has more responsibility.
That shot off the side of the net, picked up here by Tatar. And Tomas Tatar navigates what little open ice he has. And the puck comes back to him. Played behind goal to Damon Severson. Opening minutes here of the second. Here's Boqvist over the line for the Devils. The dish for Tatar. Couldn't put it on goal. And back the other way. Foligno for the Bruins.
A nice little dish by Boqvist and speed entering the Bruins zone. Tatar couldn't quite handle that pass, Kench. That was a good scoring opportunity in the high slot if he corrals that pass.
Tatar dropped the puck back to Kuokkanen. Devils in the midst of a change, and Smith will guide this puck in. Andreas Johnsson flying off the bench, plays it back, and missing the puck was Mercer. In transition, Jake DeBrusk shooting, fired it wide. Oh, Mercer just took his eye off the puck. Here's Brad again. Mercer with the dish. Dougie Hamilton offside. RWJ Barnabas Health is proud to honor its information technology and systems department for the courage and selflessness they've displayed during these difficult times. Heroes work here. RWJ Barnabas Health.
Love our healthcare heroes, and Johnsson have a little chat with the referee.
Bleed and Johnsson separate off the draw, and it's taken here by Zaboral. Jonathan Bernier getting the call this afternoon after Mackenzie Blackwood played the previous two for the Devils. There's a penalty coming up. Mercer has taken one in the offensive zone. Still no whistle. Kuhlman on the puck. Carson Kuhlman to pull up. 6 attackers on now for Boston, and the whistle does blow now. The Devils to be shorthanded.
Mercer's stick gets caught into the skates of Connor Clifton. He goes heavily into the boards. So the Devils back to the penalty kill right there, no doubt about it.
Penalty, number 18, 2 minutes for tripping.
They initially try to go for the puck. Clifton makes a little move toward the boards, and that creates the penalty there. So a big kill here, Cantor. The Bruins up 1-0.
McAvoy and Foligno are on with the perfection line for Boston as it's jarred by Severson but not out. The Bruins with Foligno. Pass broken up down low by Ryan Graves, and it comes back to McAvoy. Bergeron with a shot. Marchand with a chance, blocked away in front. Here's Brad Marchand again to the circle. Pastrnak handcuffed. Now McLeod under pressure. Puck freed up. Marchand with a pass for Bergeron. Save made by Bernier. McAvoy on the puck. Pressure by the Bruins in the early stages of the power play as Foligno guides this back. Brad Marchand watched by Hischier. Marchand in front, redirected by Foligno. Stopped by Bernier and cleared.
Well, big stop by Bernier. Marchand can really dish that puck, and he's so patient till you finally find that opening. You think you got the guy, and you don't completely have him. Big save by Bernier. McLeod made a huge play as well, stopping a pass.
Here's McAvoy, gives to Bergeron. At the circle, he'll peel away from Siegenthaler. Charlie McAvoy at the point. Closed down by Vesey. And a shot, they score! Brad Marchand beating Bernier for a Boston 2-0 lead.
He just lets it go up high, bodies in front. And just like that, the Bruins take a 2-0 lead. Devils were doing a good job in this kill, even though they were in their zone. They had active sticks. And this is probably tough for Bernier to pick up all kinds of bodies. Marchand just gets it through. Not a whole lot there, but you see Bergeron's there. And he gets it through the layers. That's so hard for a goaltender to pick up. And the Bruins will take it. It's 2-0.
He is known for the edge that he brings to his game. Some appreciate it, many do not. Don't confuse that with him being anything other than an excellent goal scorer. He had 29 last year in just 53 games played in the truncated season. So now the Devils with an uphill climb. Down 2, plenty of time to go here at home. Bouncing puck, steered ahead to the stick of Curtis Lazar. And played across by the Bruins, carried back the other way. Here's Jesper Bratt, has Janssen cutting across the return pass, they score! Dawson Mercer, what a play!
Just beautiful puck movement, tic-tac-toe. And the Devils answer back quickly. And who else? Dawson Mercer. Terrific move through the neutral zone. Devils go with speed. Bratt finds Janssen quickly over to Mercer on the one-touch pass. And that might be the only way you're going to beat Swayman here this afternoon, as he's been in position and played well. And then Mercer, you see Swayman down. He goes up and over the goalie to get the Devils on the board. It's 2-1. Just terrific three-way passing from Bratt, Janssen, and Mercer.
The goals come 28 seconds apart. Dawson Mercer, 5th NHL goal in his 13th National Hockey League game. They needed something to bring this building to life.
They did, Boston. He's played a real sound game thus far through 25 minutes here this afternoon, but the Devils have an answer. And Jesper Bratt with that speed and quickness. It was initially a 2-on-1 canch between Janssen and Bratt, and then it became a 3-on-2 as Dawson Mercer came in late, and he was the eventual goal scorer. So huge answer by the Devils to keep them alive in this game, now down only 2-1.
Bleed into the Devils zone. Here's Ty Smith to wind it around. Past the stick of Alexander Holtz. The Bruins will tag. The Bruins goal scored by Marchand from McAvoy and Bergeron. Devils answer back. Mercer from Janssen and Bratt at 4:30 of the second period. On their 10th shot of the afternoon, the Devils beat Swayman. Here comes Nico Hischier looking for more. He'll fire in. Sabourin on the puck. Outlet pass got by the stick of Kuhlman, who sends it in anyway. Met by Ryan Graves. 2-1 game here in the second period. Janne Kuokkanen to tap this ahead, and this deflects into the Bruins bench area. Time now for the live odds presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more. Three-game point streaks for Janssen, Mercer, and Bratt, who collaborate on the goal that gets the Devils back into this. Face-off here to the right of Jonathan Bernier. Devils opting likely to play Mackenzie Blackwood tomorrow night in the division matchup against the Rangers. Hudson River rivalry back tomorrow night at Madison Square Garden. Here's McAvoy with a pass, broken up, carried ahead. Dougie Hamilton plays it across. McLeod in deep for Sharon Govich. Coyle to track the puck here for Boston. He'll chip it safely back towards the Devils zone, and Hamilton will guide this back. Big hit on Graves in the corner by Foligno. Vesey over to help and take the puck away. Sharon Govich with a pass picked off. Here's Foligno for Boston to send in. Incoming traffic in the form of Taylor Hall, and the Devils send this to the Boston end of the ice. Carried over the line. Bergeron shooting, held by Bernier. 6.5 into the second period. It's a 2-1 game at Prudential Center.
See someone like Dawson Mercer take a penalty in the offensive zone, and then your penalty kill can't kill it. How is a young kid going to respond? Well, he showed us. He came right back out that line with Bratter and Janssen. Responded. Mercer had an opportunity. The puck came to him in the slot, and he buried it. And so that just shows me, and it shows all of us, his ability to immediately reset his mind. To say, you know what, yeah, I made a mistake. I took a bad penalty. When I get my opportunity, I'm going to correct it. And so what a great sequence of plays for him to make a difference.
Shot by Tatar is stopped in front by Swayman. Devils crash the net. Bryce, thank you. Back the other way. Marchand plays it across. Pastrnak kicked out. They score! It deflected past Bernier on a second opportunity, and again, the Bruins lead by 2.
How often do we see that? So many times where odd man rush one way, good opportunity. Tatar with a good shot, big save from Swayman. Bruins go the other way. Here's where it started, what I'm talking about. There's the big save. Can't quite handle it cleanly, but you see the Devils go crashing in the net, and quick transition by the Bruins. Pastrnak shot. Nobody picks up Marchand. He made the initial pass, but what does he do? He goes right to the net. You just got to be aware of him, and Devils can't find that puck. And second goal of the game, and back-to-back for Brad Marchand as the Bruins take a 3-1 lead.
Goals 7 and 8 on the season for Marchand. Hall will chase this puck. Pretty active first 7 minutes of the second period. Bruins have put 2 into the net. The Devils 1 off the stick of Dawson Mercer as the Bruins close down Alexander Holtz. And play is halted. There's a penalty coming up.
It's going to be a hooking call against the Bruins, and Taylor Hall, I believe, going to the box. Former Devil Hart Trophy winner. And the Devils need something here as they've let Brad Marchand in the perfection line take over a little bit in the second period. And they have a goal of their own, and there's the hook from behind by Taylor Hall on Holtz. This is a big spot here. Devils need a goal.
Devils did not get a shot on goal in their first 2 power plays of the afternoon. One of them was an abbreviated power play. Off the draw, they control. Tomas Tatar on the near wall. Ty Smith at the point, plays it across. The return from Bratt as the Devils set. Jesper Bratt. Taylor Hall off for hooking as we watch Smith pick up Tatar at the circle. Smith again at the top. Back to Tatar. Tomas Tatar shooting, blocked away by Swayman. McLeod keeps the puck moving. Tatar once again. Back to the point. They set it up for Bratt at the circle. Jesper Bratt watched by Nosek. Seam pass picked off and cleared to center.
That's a difficult pass there by Jesper Bratt. He had to get it through about 3 Bruins sticks, and Devils had a good setup initially.
Devils power play brought to you by RWJ Barnabas Health. Hischier closed down behind the net by a couple of Boston players. Scramble for the puck continues. Now Pavel Zacha frees it up for Hischier. He'll wind it to Holtz. Sends it in for Severson. Second wave of the power play on. Played across. This is Smith. The holdover from the first unit on the puck. Plays it back. Holtz at the top. Gives to Ty Smith. His shot wristed wide. Severson. Now Smith again. Peels away from Nosek. Drops it back. Holtz with a wrist shot. And it's caught by Swayman with traffic at the doorstep.
Well, you see Alexander Holtz is up top now, Cairns. They want to activate him and let him use that shot. We want to see more of it. I think the coaching staff does as well, and that's a pretty good wrist shot from up high because he's got enough zip on it to beat a goaltender from back there, so they want to continue to give him some looks and chances to let that wrist shot go.
28 to go on the penalty against Hall. Off the draw, Swayman will opt for another defensive zone face-off. Devils power play went 1 for 2 against the Islanders 2 nights ago. 3 of their 6 power play goals this season have come in the last 2 games. Off the draw. Comes back to Dougie Hamilton. One of the great defensive forwards of all time. Patrice Bergeron on Hamilton. The Bruins will clear this away. Picked up here by Mercer. Final seconds of the man advantage. Devils play it across. Here's Hamilton. Tried to work it across for Mercer. The Devils get chased back, and out of the box is Hall. We're back to even strength. Now Mercer at 5-on-5. Works it behind the net. Spun around, Michael McLeod. This puck comes back to Siegenthaler. Mercer Behind the net again. He's checked but continues on, and the Bruins play it ahead. Here's Hall for Boston. Knocked to the ice by Siegenthaler. Approaching the midway mark of the second period in a 3-1 game. Connor Clifton. The return from Coyle. New Jersey native played it off the side of the net. Coyle centering try. Bruins couldn't get on it. In transition, this is Tatar. He'll flip and chase. Shouldered by Grizzly. Another hit deep in the zone. Fans wanted a penalty replay on.
Yeah, that looked like maybe a boarding by Nick Foligno. Boqvist was a foot from the boards, and it looked like his numbers were showing there, so the fans let the refs hear it a little bit.
As play continues, this is Siegenthaler to play it across for Subban. Able to pick up Janne Kuokkanen. Into the corner, Boqvist denied the puck by Haula. Devils have had a response once this afternoon, down by 2. They need another. Carried to center by Boston. Haula to drop this back. Puck came over the line as Carlo was entering and will step aside as the Bruins are offside, but they lead 3-1 at the Rock.
Foundation did, presenting a $25,000 check to the Boys and Girls Club of Newark. Allison Blitzer was on hand to do that. She, of course, is the chair of the Devils Youth Foundation, and you know they have a long-standing partnership, the Devils, with the Boys and Girls Club here in this city, but you know they can do so much with that money, so we just wanted to give a special shout out there, guys.
Erica, thank you so much. Hoping to cheer the Devils on to a come-from-behind result here this afternoon as the Bruins ice the puck. Busy Saturday in the National Hockey League. This is the first of 13 games on the schedule. We told you the Devils with their first visit to Madison Square Garden of the regular season tomorrow. The Rangers do play tonight against the Columbus Blue Jackets on the road.
This is a real tough stretch for the Devils. Daunting task here against some real good teams, and they passed the test the first 2 ones here. Down 2 here, a lot of hockey left. They got to keep pushing, go get that next goal, and give yourselves a fighting chance here. The Bruins have played a good strong game.
Kuhlman, wraparound attempt, snuffed out by Bernier, who covers.
Let's take a look at which player is in control, brought to you by Dell Technologies. Pavel Zacha hasn't got on the score sheet yet, but 3 shots, a couple of takeaways, 12 shifts, 9:22 of ice time. And they would love nothing more if Zacha can get himself on the board, but that is brought to you by Dell Technologies in control, and Zacha had a breakaway, good opportunity as well in tight in the first period. Kanjan. Swayman's been strong for Boston.
Shot by the Bruins, missed the net, fired off the stick of Forbert. Now McAvoy will send this in. Past the stick of Marchand. Brad Marchand working on a 2-goal game. McAvoy with a shot. The net was dislodged, and the whistle blew before the Bruins shot the puck. Face-off will be to the left of Bernier.
And Marchand put it in after the whistle had blown, and we'll watch as Pastrnak tries to squeeze between Hamilton and Bernier. Net goes flying off its post there, and fortunately for the Devils too, because Marchand comes in and puts it in after the whistle was blown well before.
Here's Marchand again. Plays it across. Wanted Pastrnak. Devils get a stick on the pass, and McAvoy chased by Vesey. Hit by Vesey, and Marchand on the puck here for the Bruins. 2-point games for Marchand and McAvoy to this point for Boston. Puck played to the neutral zone. Dougie Hamilton across. and put on the stick of Pastrnak. Bruins have played an excellent second period, outshooting the Devils 9-3 to this point in the period. Carried ahead here, Ryan Graves picks up Hamilton. 7 3/4 to go in the period. Boqvist on the move. Behind the net, Tatar able to take the puck away. Drops it back. Siegenthaler fakes a shot. Continues on. Now blocked in front. Off the skate of Foligno.
Yeah, nice little move initially with the fake shot by Siegenthaler, but want to get that shot through. Didn't get a lot on it, and Foligno down low helping his defenseman out.
Let's watch Janne Kuokkanen. Gives here. Fired by Boqvist wide. Puck caroms around. Subban across. Siegenthaler. It's off Taylor Hall, and a face-off in the Bruins zone.
Did you know right now you could still bet on any player to score a goal on FanDuel Sportsbook? Make every moment more and get in on the action now with FanDuel.
Devils team that's had a nice stretch to start the season. 3 regulation defeats in its first 12 games played this year. Trying to avoid number 4.
Well, it's a packed house here, Cairns. A lot of kids at the game this afternoon, and they would love nothing more than to get out of their seats and a little emotion here. The Devils go get another goal here before this second period is over.
Smith is back. The Bruins have iced the puck. Look at the success this team has had since Bruce Cassidy was first named interim head coach, replacing Claude Julien in February of 2017. What they've done under Cassidy: second best points percentage in the league behind Tampa, 200 wins. That was celebrated by Cassidy the other night against Ottawa. Best power play in the league. All of the metrics so good since he's taken over. One of the big issues for this Bruins team, the 2 holdovers from the last Stanley Cup championship team, Bergeron and Marchand, and that's it, with Rask no longer part of this team's active roster. Collected here, played back, Ty Smith shooting off the glove of Swayman. Puck taken here by Zacha. Tuukka Rask a backup that year. Tim Thomas, the Stanley Cup winning starter. Picked up here, Zacha peeled back. Some pressure here by the Devils. The dish down low. Alexander Holtz surveys. Continues on. Chased by the Bruins, and now the Devils work it across. Smith plays it back. Severson off the skate. The return from Zacha. There's a penalty coming up. It's a cross check.
Is he calling both guys? I think he is. I don't know if he's going to call an embellishment or something, but Devils moving the
Penalty
puck
number
well.
25, 2 minutes for interference. New Jersey penalty, 2 minutes for embellishment.
Well, the Devils were on the puck when the whistle blew, so there was your big clue.
Devils had good puck possession. Boston again taking that middle away, so Devils just keep moving around, looking for an opening, and I like what they were doing, moving their feet. But you see the cross check right there in front. How is that an embellishment? I mean, that's just wanting to equal things up. I've never understood that penalty all that much. It's got to be blatantly obvious to me.
So we'll watch 4-on-4. Carlo and Hischier in the box. The fans just love that call, if you can hear. Carried over the line by Bergeron, shooting high on Bernier, and this deflected into the netting. Step aside at the Rock, under 6 to go in the second. Devils down.
Bounce on the third goal there, not able to clear that rebound. But other than that, the Devils have had their chances. But unfortunately, Boston's done a great job of keeping them to the perimeter. This last sequence of play in the offensive zone, yes, the Devils had a lot of O-zone possession time, but everything was on the outside. And we talked about that, Kanji Dano, that the Devils got to find a way to get inside, get some of those pucks inside, move to the middle, get Swayman moving. Hopefully can't see a shot here or two, but look, there's 6 minutes left in this period. Yes, you got yourself a little bit of a hole, but you have lots of time. Get something here on this 4-on-4. Build a little momentum going into the third. Back to you guys.
I'd say the next goal is significant as we watch Hamilton gain the zone. Closed down by Zaboral. Puck taken here by the Devils. McLeod to bank it back. Ryan Graves closed down by Bergeron. 4-time Selke Trophy recipient Patrice Bergeron. The Bruins can't get it out. Here's McLeod. Guides the puck back. Hamilton across for Graves. Cross-ice pass off the stick of McLeod. One-timer didn't do much with it, and taken here by Bergeron again.
Well, Bryce is right, and Devils have to do everything in the Bruins zone to fight for the middle of the ice, fight for body position in front of the goaltender. Swayman. Bruins playing a very good game. Devils have to crack that. And every game takes on a different dynamic here, Cange. We saw how well the Devils played the first two on this homestand, but this is a tough one against the Bruins, and they're still in it. They need the next goal.
Pastrnak on the receiving end of the pass. Taken off his stick by countryman Pavel Zacha, and the Devils break back the other way. Subban, Zacha carries over the line. Pavel Zacha pulls up. Long pass across, given away to Pastrnak. Has the defenseman Clifton with him. The Bruins are in a change, and Pastrnak is buying time. And does well. Here's Coyle. 14 seconds to go in the coincidental minors as Clifton plays this for Pastrnak again. Bruins nearly made a mess of that on the change, but here's Clifton peeling back, and the penalties are up. Carlo and Hischier out of the box with just over 4 to go in the second. Into the Devils zone. Here's Ty Smith to collect. Devils with a 3-game win streak on the line. They have points in each of their last 4. Tatar to center. Here's Kuokkanen, carries over the line. Janne Kuokkanen, 4 white shirts around him, and now Hall. Taken away by Boqvist. Tatar to track the puck in the corner, gives here to Smith. Tomas Tatar, first-year Devil, plays it in. Kuokkanen trying to fight off Charlie McAvoy. He has support. Forbert is there, and Foligno for the Bruins will chip it out. Gathered here by Hall. His shot deflected over the glass and out of play. Let's take this back to the hashtag Cadillac Trivia Answer. Patrice Bergeron, 4th all-time in Bruins history in scoring. Who are the top 3? You want to start?
Johnny Busick, possibly. Phil Esposito.
I think you've got 2 of the 3, and I'm going to say Raymond Bourque.
Clean sweep, Cange.
You know,
I had the old timers, and how can I forget Ray Bourque? Played against him for a lot of years, and what do you have, 1,500 of them? He was one of the great defensemen of all time, certainly, and two-way defenseman.
See what happens when you stare at NHL.com for 2 hours straight. Picked up here. Devils trying to get back in this. Here's McLeod. Forced wide by Grzelcyk. He's hit behind the net. Trying to sneak that between Swayman and the post was Andreas Johnsson.
I want people to know we do not look at it prior. Just on the spot.
Severson drives, saved by Swayman.
That's a monster save by Swayman there. Damon put it on a tee. He had time. Devils had the lane there, and Swayman, I think, it hit him on the shoulder as he was way out of the net. Devils couldn't get to that rebound, and that's where you have to capitalize. And that puck has to, you have to find that loose puck on the rebound right now.
He's been beaten once, Dawson Mercer. Other than that, 13 saves on the afternoon for Swayman, the goaltender who does not turn 23 until the 24th of November. Lazar, the ex-Ottawa Senator, off the stick of Hamilton. Late stages of period 2, we'll watch Brandon Carlo across for Grzelcyk. Mercer to dump in. Swayman, a 4th-round pick of the Bruins back in 2017, 111th overall. He and Linus Ullmark, the Bruins goaltending tandem. Hamilton smoked out. Graves on the puck. The outlet off the skate of Zacha. Does well to control. Devils pick up Hischier. His shot. Glove save. Swayman.
That's great puck movement right out of the Devils zone. Starts with Dougie Hamilton. And then the Devils get a good scoring chance again. Here's one prior. Damon Severson with a blast, but Swayman takes it right off the top, hit the mask as well, and there's the pass. That started in the Devils zone. Quick transition. We've seen a lot of that the last few games. Nico Hischier has an open lane, but Swayman snags it with the gloved hand. So the Severson shot, Kench, yeah, right around the shoulder collarbone area, also hit the mask. But you see Swayman in good position coming out. So a lot of times it's those rebounds are hoping to get another whack at it on a second chance opportunity.
Zacha takes the puck in the neutral zone. Burst of speed, shooting, save by Swayman again.
Wow, Devils have turned it up here late in the period.
Tomorrow night, MSG Plus, Devils and Rangers coverage gets underway at 6:30 with Devils Game Night. And then at 7, the Hudson River rivalry continues. Devils Rangers, MSG Plus, or you could stream it on MSG Go.
Swayman makes a save on Pavel Zacha, so that's 3 pretty good chances by the Devils in the last minute here. Trying to inch closer and make this a 1-goal game. And Swayman's been, he's got good numbers this year, Kench, but it's been a little bit up and down for him. He's been really solid here this afternoon.
Hischier plays this back, and here's Subban with exactly a minute to go in the period. This puck is fired over the glass and out of play. Devils have spread the wealth offensively during the last few games. That victory over Florida, when they scored 7, they had 13 different players register a point. 11 different Devils were on the score sheet in that victory over the Islanders 2 nights ago. Taylor Hall guides this puck back. Grizzly can't get it out. Now Subban races over, keeps the puck in, sends that wide of goal. Siegenthaler along the near wall, played into the corner. Charlie Coyle under pressure. This puck comes in front. Shot, they score! Jesper Bratt fires away to make it a 3-2 game.
Well, we know these guys won't quit, and this is a big, big goal with under a minute left in the second period. And it's just good. Good old-fashioned winning some battles. Kench keeping plays alive in the Bruin zone. PK Subban misses the net there. Siegenthaler alertly pinches down low from the left side. And a nice bounce out to Dawson Mercer. Looked like it went off the net as the Bruins tried to chip it around. One more time, that's Coyle. Yes, tried to bank it off the boards, but it comes right out to Dawson Mercer. Nice feed to Bratt. And the Devils make it a 3-2 game. And again, it's that line of Bratt, Mercer, and that really the guitar that gets things going again. Is it's their second goal here. This time it's Bratt from Mercer, and Mercer had the first one for the Devils.
Ryan Graves to settle this for the final 20 seconds of the period. Bratt with his 3rd goal of the season.
It's a big one, Ken. It's going to be an exciting 3rd period.
Vesey on the puck. Takes a deflection, glove down by Lazar. He'll skate this back the other way. And played back, Charlie McAvoy looks up. Time has expired. It's a 1-goal game going into the 3rd. 2-point afternoon for Dawson Mercer. Mercer and Janssen with the assists on the Devils' 2nd goal. Erica and Bryce. FanDuel second intermission report straight ahead. 1,266 games for Brodeur. 31 times he faced 40 or more shots. You had a lot to do with that.
Well, obviously we were a very disciplined, structured team. Forwards had a big part of that as well, Kenji. We were a well-oiled machine, especially in our heyday, but make no mistake, regardless of Marty had 18 shots, 25 shots. He made timely big save after big save, but good for Mackenzie Blackwood.
Here's Brad Marchand carrying over the line, and that's kicked out by Bernier. We welcome you back. 3rd period. Devils hockey is presented by RWJ Barnabas Health, official healthcare provider of the New Jersey Devils. In a 1-goal game, the Bruins long pass ahead. Marchand is having an afternoon. Plays it across, shot by Bergeron, blocked away by Bernier.
There you see that patience and from Brad Marchand as far as the fake shot and the deception can to get that pass over to Pastrnak.
Intercept by Mercer. Gives here to Johnsson. One hand on the stick, and that's held by Swayman.
Time now for our Duncan-fueled performance. And yes, it's going to be the youngster Dawson Mercer. This afternoon, a goal, assist, +2 rating, 2 shots, 10:08 of ice time. And they got a late goal from Mercer and Johnsson. So this line has been involved in both goals. They all have 2 points, Kanj, and looking to get one more here as the Devils are down 1. That sets up a great third here. That is your Duncan-fueled performance. We've seen a lot of that performance from Dawson Mercer all season long thus far. He's been real good, and another 2-point game here this afternoon.
And he becomes the second Devil to reach double-digit points already this season. 10 points for Mercer in his first 13 games. Bruins on the puck. Saboril across. Clifton with a shot. That's blocked away in front. Bernier had some help. Played across. Saboril again. Nifty maneuver. Walks in and shoots. Saved by Bernier. The rebound cleared away.
That's a big stop. Real nice move by Saboril.
Sharangovich carries over the line. Has Johnsson, and the redirect missed.
Oh, a little bit too crisp of a pass there. Nice idea by Sharangovich for the quick redirection.
Boqvist is checked. Johnsson plays it back. The stick fails. Severson scrambled for the puck, and Johnsson will take this. Guides it back for Severson. Devils in a change. Kuokkanen to play this back. 2 1/4 gone by in the third as we watch Pavel Zacha. He'll bank this into the Bruins zone. Forbert back to collect. Spins away from the forechecking Kuokkanen. Smith plays it in deep. Puck comes here. Zacha on a backhand, taken off his stick. Severson looks to hold the zone and does. McAvoy under pressure. Devils trying to battle back from 2 down to tie the game here in the third. Bruins execute a change, and Smith waits for the Devils to change personnel as well. Off the stick of Tatar. Brandon Carlo banks this to the far wall. Here comes Anton Bleed. Over the Devils line, knocked to the ice by Siegenthaler. Hischier to play this ahead. Tatar's pass by the outstretched stick of Pavel Zacha, and it's sent back into the Devils' end of the ice. The Bruins have fired 30 shots. The Devils 19. It's a 1-goal game. Haula to work this across. Pastrnak, what a shot off the glass.
It comes off his stick so quickly and with a ton of pace.
Fired in by Forbert. First-year Bruins signed as a free agent. Take it off the wall here, and a quick shot by Bergeron, held by Bernier.
You have to finish off Brad Marchand if you get the chance. Devils will let him just kind of spin out of the corner, and you've got to make sure if you can get a body on him, you have to. What a nice move by Saboril there up top for the Bruins. Another big save from Bernier. Sharangovich almost connects with Johnsson as he makes a nice little pass there. Just a little bit crisp, I think, for Johnsson to redirect that up top as he shot it high and wide there, or deflected it high and wide.
Bruins fire that off the side of the net. Their top line on here. Marchand is on the puck. Turns, shoots, and there's a save again by Bernier. Marchand tracks the loose puck and carried out of the zone by McLeod. Michael McLeod continues on. Forbert collides on the far wall, and the Bruins nurse this back to Charlie McAvoy, who led all players in ice time in the opening 2 periods of play. Dougie Hamilton had the most by the Devils at 14:46. Here's McLeod. Gibbs, Holtz with a chance, blocked away by Saboril. And the Bruins break out as Pastrnak lifts this ahead. Graves to bank it across as it comes to center. Clifton on the puck as Boston will change. Bernier winds to the stick of Boqvist. Pass taken at center by Clifton. Matawan, New Jersey raised defenseman. Sees the Devils skate back the other way. Sharangovich in his return to the lineup today. Wheels and deals into the Boston zone. Got the puck past Grzelcyk. Now Boqvist leaves for Sharangovich. Able to guide this back. Ty Smith back for Sharangovich. His shot held by Swayman. The 2020 draft class includes the 18th overall pick, Dawson Mercer. Right now it's Lucas Raymond in Detroit making a lot of the headlines. Only one other member of that draft class is in double-digit points this year, and he's a Devil.
And Dawson Mercer looks like he can be a special player here in New Jersey, and you keep it in perspective, but it's been just a great start for a kid that comes in the league at 19 years old. He's a complete player. He has such a blast. You've mentioned it before, Ken. You can tell he has that swagger that you need to have success, and he has it at a young age. He's mature, but he just has fun coming to the rink. He plays this game hard. He does so many things well, thinks the game so well, uses his stick. He's real good on takeaways and good hands in tight.
Tatar is with Zacha and Hischier on the Devils' top line. Here's Nico. Cuts in front, lost control. Here's Severson in the corner. Looks it behind goal. Tatar has a beat on the loose puck. Gives it up. Zacha with a shot. Stick save. Swayman. Lindy Ruff putting Tatar on the top line here in the efforts to get the game tied. DeBrusk sends it away. Change for each team on the fly as we watch Bratt gain the zone. Jesper Bratt tries to throw it in front. Swayman tried to cover. He could not.
Well, you love those little hesitation moves from Bratt. He's so quick, and he got around foreboard. He was in tight, though.
Bratt drops it back. Siegenthaler shooting, and a wrister that goes wide. Bratt tried to play it towards goal. Gets it back from Janssen. Drive by Subban is blocked. Siegenthaler. Bruins can use a change here. Mercer cuts in front. Scramble for the puck. Oh, Bratt couldn't get a stick on it.
Well, just one step from the side of the net. Great opportunity. He does it so quickly, Mercer. And a big save by the Bruin goaltender, Swayman. Or this game would be tied, and the fans let the Devils hear it as those last three shifts, Kanji, for the Devils. They've come out really skating, moving, making plays. There's that play I'm talking about. You see how he kind of just pulls that puck to himself. He put that one between his legs. That's real good hands in tight by Mercer, and he gets that puck out right in front. Good shot, good save.
Off the draw, scramble for the puck. The Bruins come away with it, and they'll get this past the stick of Dougie Hamilton.
Well, they didn't get the equalizer, but the fans here in New Jersey at Prudential Center let this young team know we're real proud of the efforts and the way these guys have pushed here early in the third to try to get that tying goal.
Marchand tried to cut to the middle, met by a couple of Devils, and Boqvist on the puck. Off the skate of Sharangovich. Sharangovich back for Boqvist. As the Devils gain the zone, he's trapped by Bergeron. They drop it back for Hamilton. Played across. Ryan Graves with a shot, redirected wide. Swayman takes no chances, reaches out and covers. 7.5 gone by in the third. It's 3-2.
This is a beautiful three-way tic-tac-toe passing play. Finish off by Dawson Mercer. Watch Bratt to Janssen. This line's been real good here this afternoon. And then a nice pass back to Mercer right in the high slot. He made sure, Kent, even though the goaltender's down and out, there's a lot of net to shoot at. He goes right up top. Don't take it for granted. That made the game 3-2, and that's where we stand. That is your New Jersey Lottery $1 Million replay.
Off the draw, Ryan Graves to send this in deep. Tatar stays with Zacha and Hischier, and the Bruins with Forbort on the puck will play this ahead to Marchand.
Let me correct that. That made it 2-1. Bratt made it 3-2. Nonetheless, a beautiful play for our $1 Million replay.
Here's McAvoy. Zacha got a stick on that pass, and it's won back by the Devils. Dougie Hamilton for Graves, the two defensemen leading the charge here. Ryan Graves looks to tap it in further and does. Bruins play it across to Forbort. Marchand to center, picks up Coyle over the line. Coyle shooting, and he rang it off the post.
Well, from a sharp angle. Well, really let that wrist shot fly.
Hamilton with a chance that's blocked away by Zboril. Steered off the skate of Taylor Hall, and Severson to play it across. 11.5 to go in the third. Backed off glass out to center. Keep in mind, 3 times already this season, Devils have battled back from a third period deficit to get a result. They've won 2 and they've forced another to overtime. Icing is the call here.
Well, they've come out with their legs here in the third and a lot of energy as they've had some good chances. There's Coyle with the quick shot, double post off the left post and right post from a sharp angle. So tricky quick shot by Coyle. Almost gives the Bruins their 4th goal, but the Devils still have a fighting chance here. Down 1, and the Devils have had plenty of chances here in the third. If not for Swayman, could be tied as well.
We'll watch Michael McLeod cross up with Severson's shot. Stopped by Swayman. Loose puck. Devils work this back to Ty Smith again. Sends to the opposite corner. And Hall and the Bruins will get this out to center. Taken off the stick of Taylor Hall. And the Bruins get it back. They've fired 32 at Jonathan Bernier. Leading 3-2 are the Bruins here, who go home tomorrow night to take on Montreal. The Devils get the Rangers at the Garden. Severson ahead for Tatar. Lost control of the puck. Bleed back the other way. Has Subban to beat. Subban one-hands it across. Now Zacha didn't do enough to get the puck out of the zone. Sent in front. Subban to block that away. Carried ahead by Hischier. Nico over the line. Picks up the trailer. That's Siegenthaler shooting, and it's blocked.
That's a good job of Kuhlman staying in the lane there. Siegenthaler even a little fake and pulls that puck, but Reed was able to make a big block there.
High-performance hockey deserves cold brew to match. Where there's hockey, there's Dunkin'.
One of the missions in the early part of this season, make Prudential Center home again. Devils have accomplished that. A 5-2 record at home coming into this afternoon's game.
And just a great crowd again today, and they're letting this young Devils team, you know, hear it when they work, and they've been working a lot lately as far as just playing a hard game, hard brand of hockey, competing.
Hoping their team can sweep a 3-game homestand. Hamilton tied up in his own zone along with Marchand as the Devils get this out to center. Taken back by the Bruins and fired back in by McAvoy. Hamilton and Graves on for the Devils. Mercer with a long pass ahead. Alexander Holtz kicks this forward. Here's Vesey with a shot. That's blocked. Oh, Graves couldn't control the bouncing puck. Pastrnak waiting for help. It's coming in the form of Hall and Bergeron. Pastrnak cuts in front. Saved by Bernier. The rebound. The Bruins are celebrating. And the signal on the ice, I believe, is goal. I did not see it definitively.
Well, yeah, ref didn't really give you an indication, but the puck was sitting, and obviously Bergeron thinks he has a goal. A real drive, power move by Pastrnak. You see the Devils just couldn't corral that puck. It was unfortunate, bounced over Graves' stick as he was going to have a good chance. There's the power drive, and looked like the ref might have lost sight of the puck, but one more look at it from a better angle. That's a heck of a move on McLeod by Pastrnak. You see that puck sit right on the goal line, and it looks like it's going to be a good goal. Unless they had blown the whistle, and I didn't hear the whistle, Kanj, I'm not sure. And Graves shaken up on the play, and he jumped in. You know, a little bit of a bad break for him as that puck rolled over his stick. Bruins quickly in transition go the other way. But this is all set up by Pastrnak as he pulls that puck and cuts hard to the net. Just gets a step on Michael McLeod.
The Bruins are lined up for the faceoff on what would be the aftermath of Bergeron's 6th goal of the season. It counts, and a big moment to restore the Bruins' 2-goal advantage.
That's a tough one for New Jersey. They've really pressed the pace, had chances of their own, looked like they were going to have a good chance, and puck rolls over Graves off Graves' stick.
Another stop by Swayman takes us to break with 9 minutes to go in the third.
Jumps up for the play, he misses the puck, gets hit from behind, and then you got Pastrnak, a wily veteran, goes through Bernier. He knows what he's doing, goes through the crease, hard play, prevents Bernier from making a save there on Bergeron. But you know what, guys? Up until that moment, Daniel, you talked about it. We saw a big push from the Devils. We felt like something was going to come here, and I'm still thinking the Devils have something left here. Those young legs we talk about. See if they can get one here. There's plenty of time. We'll maybe see Linda Ruff pull the goalie, pull Bernier in 5 minutes. If we're down by 2, try to spark something. Back to you guys.
Bryce, thank you. In a 2-goal game, this is Zacha who banks it back. Severson across. Shot by Smith, looking for the redirect in front with Hischier at the doorstep. Ryan Graves has gone into the Devils' locker room for some medical attention.
I hope he's okay, Cam, because he's been so good for the Devils this season. And Bryce makes a good point. Look, that's just a big-time play by one of the best players in the National Hockey League, top 10 anyway. That's David Pastrnak. I mean, he made that play there, and an unfortunate bounce on Graves, and he gets banged into, and he was off balance, and hopefully he's okay. Like I said, he's a little shaken up, but that is going to happen through the course of a season or in games. And let's see if this young team can battle back one more time, as they came close to making it a 3-3 game on a few occasions.
Here comes Bratt racing ahead. Mercer pulls up, stays onside. Backhander by Bratt, fought off by Swayman, and Subban cannot hold the zone. Devils were neutralizing the perfection line early in the game. We told you they didn't have a shot on goal. Bergeron, Marchand, and Pastrnak in that opening period. They've since responded for 6 points on the afternoon between them. As we watch Boqvist on the puck. Guides this back. Hamilton with Severson. Boqvist at the top, blocked high by Carson Kuhlman out of play. We're across the Hudson tomorrow night. Devils Rangers. Ottawa is here on Tuesday, and then the Devils are in Florida for the rest of the week against the Panthers on Thursday, and a late afternoon game against the Tampa Bay Lightning on Saturday, November 20th. Thanksgiving right around the corner. Here's McLeod and Haula on the faceoff on that 4th Bruins goal. Bergeron from Pastrnak at 10:49. Is that the backbreaker or not? Devils look for one more thrust here in the third. Ty Smith sees bleed, send this the length of the ice. This is an icing call. And just to go back to Patrice Bergeron and where he is at this stage of his remarkable career, the 4th goal this afternoon, he is in the final year of an 8-year contract with the Bruins. He says he will not talk about his future until this season comes to an end. The 20th captain in the history of this team. That is an impossible void to fill one day. Maybe that's not coming next season for them.
Well, I don't think so. They'll make sure they lock him up for a few years anyway. He's still an elite player, and the start he's had of this season at the top of his game, Canch. But that play again was made. We know all 3 of them have been a big factor in this game, and the difference so far, why the Bruins lead 4-2, is that perfection line. But all 3 of them have made one big play or another here this afternoon, and I think the Devils have played hard, competed. They've done a lot of good things, just haven't been able to find a way to beat Swayman enough here, and the Bruins have made a couple of big plays when needed to have a 2-goal lead.
Off the draw, Devils get it back. Smith for Severson, and now Tatar. Tries to navigate his way by Kuhlman, the one-time NCAA champ at Minnesota Duluth. Severson shot blocked into the corner. Tatar for Zacha. Still time for the Devils as Severson plays this for Ty Smith. Goes wide on Kuhlman, sends it in front. Zacha at the doorstep. Spun around, Smith. Now Zacha in the corner. Severson able to hold the zone. Zacha for Hischier. Couldn't put it on his forehand cleanly, and now Anton Bleed will bank it away.
And that's what I like, and I know the fans like Kansas. Regardless of the score, this team, they push. Good shift there. Bruins doing a great job keeping things to the outside, defending a 2-goal lead. Very smart hockey, but they've always been that kind of team in there. It's in their DNA. They really take the middle away, so you've got to earn every good chance. But you're going to see these Devils continue to press in the Bruins zone, trying to get that third goal.
Bratt pulls up, and a shot goes wide. Off the stick of Johnsson. Now Subban with a chance. That's blocked in front and worked out of the zone by Pastrnak. Bernier will leave here for Subban. And play is halted. There is an issue with Swayman, whose strap of the mask might have come loose, and with that we'll step aside. 5:19 to go in the third. Devils need 2 to tie.
Prior to that Boston goal here in the third period, we'll keep you updated with any injury updates there from the New Jersey Devils. That will be coming your way on the Mercedes-Benz Devils post-game show, part of our coverage, as we'll have highlights, analysis, and much more from the Devils as they have their first half of a back-to-back. Still plenty of time to get 2 goals here. 5:19 to play. We'll throw things over to Kenji and Dano, guys.
Starts with a face-off in the neutral zone. Coyle and McLeod for the Devils. Won back by the Devils and played here by Subban. Price has referenced it once. Let's see how inclined Lindy Ruff might be to pull Bernier down too as we approach 5 minutes left in regulation time. Vesey tries to send it in deep, does hold the zone, plays it across. Siegenthaler with a shot blocked away. Off Foligno, but the puck stays in play. Along the near wall. Vesey continues the battle. McLeod winds to the opposite side. Here's Siegenthaler with a shot. Redirected to the corner. Comes into the slot. Oh, Fanning on the chance, poking it.
Well, we've seen that a lot in this game this afternoon. From what I've seen, pucks are bouncing. Guys just mishandling it. That's the only thing I've seen a little bit, not quite as crisp from the Devils' standpoint as far as handling that puck cleanly, and sometimes it's the ice, sometimes it's bouncing a little too much and just a coincidence, but the execution just from that standpoint is a little off, but great pressure. The legs are there, and they create a chance in the offensive zone, just can't quite pull the trigger.
Hischier waits on the puck at the near wall, and the Devils break out. Picks up Ty Smith, knocked off his stick by Nosek, and carried back the other way by the Bruins. Curtis Lazar, who's been a hit machine this afternoon, 7 the last time we saw, continues the fight in the corner. Zacha battling for the loose puck. The Devils come away with it. Hamilton ahead for Bratt. Navigates his way into the Bruins zone. Lost control. Bleed will push it back the other way. Puck into the skates of Ty Smith, who gives to Hamilton. Johnsson to center. Plays it across. Bratt for Dawson Mercer. Cuts to the middle. In front. Stop made by Swayman on Johnsson.
What a pick in by Mercer there. Under pressure, cuts to the middle. Just so good at finding that puck, pulling it, dragging it, making an opening, and fed Johnsson for the good chance.
Grzelcyk hammers it deeper into the zone. Marchand on the puck, looking for his third, fired it wide. Past the stick of Carlo, who rifled that right into the leg of Kuokkanen as he came off the bench. He's fine, play is halted.
See Dawson Mercer head up all the way. See how he cuts to the middle, Kanji. And he turns on a dime. He really fools wingers, defensemen who are trying to close that gap. He just very elusive, and then he fades Johnson for that opportunity. And look at the two talking on the bench, continuing to build that chemistry that we've seen from that line and those two, but they can't quite capitalize there. 47 left in the hockey game.
Off the draw, Carlo will send in. Hamilton checks traffic over the shoulder and looks at 200 feet of ice. We'll keep an eye on Bernier now, and he'll make his way to the bench. Hamilton tries to fire in. The Bruins met him well in the neutral zone. Devils do have 6 attackers on, as icing is the call. And now this last wave will start with an offensive zone faceoff. This is the man they'll try to beat, Jeremy Swayman, an AHL All-Star. He comes from this long line of goaltenders out of the University of Maine. Group that includes Jimmy Howard, Garth Snow, Ben Bishop, former Devil Mike Dunham, Scott Darling trying to hold the fort. With Bernier on the bench, 6 attackers on for the Devils. They'll get a face-off back. Drive by Severson, redirected. Bergeron tries to lift it out of the zone. Devils keep it in. Puck taken here by Tatar. Hamilton across. Severson behind the net. Vesey keeps the puck moving. Tatar on the near wall. Carlo. Redirect in front, and the shot by Hamilton stopped by Swayman and cleared.
Good quick wrist shot again. Hamilton so efficient at getting it through, but Swayman with the save. Rebound was sitting there for a moment. Devils can't quite get to it.
Puck flutters into the Bruins zone. Devils have iced it here with 1:42 to go, and Bernier now has to get back into his goal.
Another big one tomorrow night against their rivals, the New York Rangers. So time running out here, Kanj, this afternoon, but it's been a pretty hard-fought game. Give the Bruins credit so far. I mean, they got some opportunistic, timely goals when they needed it. And their big line, as we say often over the years, have had a big afternoon.
Ty Smith to center. Off the stick of Mercer. Devils are offside here. Well, check that play stops on a hand pass in the final 101 seconds of the tilt, perhaps. If it stays this way, Devils' stretch of points in 4 consecutive games would come to an end. Their 3-game win streak is on the line as well. It's the Devils who call the timeout, and they'll look to work something here. Last time the Bruins won the cup, the man addressing the Devils troops, Mark Recchi, was part of that club back in 2011. Spent 2 years with Boston, including that cup-winning season of 10-11.
Quite a career for Mark Recchi, and they go over assignments for winning the draw, helping out when you have the extra attacker, who goes where. But obviously a little different here. He's talking about when they're in the Bruins zone. His face-off is in the neutral zone. Well, who's going to hunt down that loose puck when they dump it in is the key too.
Fired in by Hamilton. McAvoy. Checked deep in the zone by Hischier. Puck comes to Hamilton again. Sends it towards goal. That's blocked towards the opposite side. Dawson Mercer will play it across. Corralled by Bratt. And the chance by Hamilton partially blocked. And now the Bruins will get it out. DeBrusk looks at the empty net and seals the win for Boston with 53 seconds to go. Jake DeBrusk to make it a 5-2 game.
DeBrusk gets a freebie here. It's understandable sometimes. You're trying to make a play. The puck was spinning at the top and ends up in the neutral zone. You can't complete a pass right to DeBrusk, so he gets an easy one, and not in the cards for the Devils this afternoon. They did a lot of good things, Cams. There's the spin around from Brad. Tried to get it across, but it's right in the skates of DeBrusk. He's got all kinds of time. They did some good things here. Cairns made some plays, but they couldn't get quite enough rebounds or second, third opportunities on Swayman, who had a real good afternoon. I thought Bernier made some big saves early, but most of Bruins' goals were ones that, you know, off a screen or sitting in the crease after a big save, and they got the job done this afternoon. Boston did.
As PK Subban sees it taken off his stick by Bleed, the Devils race back. Anton Bleed defended well by Siegenthaler, but only 25 to play. Devils on the verge of their 4th regulation defeat in their opening 13 games of the season. As they head to the Garden tomorrow night, they'll watch the Rangers play at Columbus this evening and look to make something of this weekend. Brad Marchand, big influence on this one. 2 goals. The game winner, 62nd of his NHL career, and his 4th game-winning goal against the Devils. 5-2 is your final. Devils Rangers tomorrow. Live coverage begins at 6:30 on MSG+. Coming up next, it's the Mercedes-Benz post-game show.